Welcome to The Explainer. A pool fence, it's so much more than just a safety feature, right? It's a huge piece of your backyard's whole look and feel. But, and this is a big but, getting it right means you've got to juggle style, safety, and all those tricky regulations. So today, we're going to make that whole journey a lot simpler. Let's dive in.
So this is really the big question, isn't it? It's what every single pool owner has to grapple with. You've got this dream of a beautiful, relaxing oasis right in your backyard. But at the same time, you've got this enormous responsibility to make sure it is 100% safe for your family, for your friends, for everyone. And then you throw in this minefield of local rules and regulations. Yeah, it is a really, really tricky balance to get right.
All right, first up, the backyard dilemma. We're really just going to frame that core challenge here, what's truly at stake when you start planning out your pool area. We're talking everything from the look of it to the stuff that's absolutely non-negotiable, like safety.
Okay, so once we get a handle on that, it's time to choose your fence style. Now, really, the first big decision you're going to make is about the look, the feel, and that all comes down to the materials. So let's see what the options are.
So when it comes to materials, you've got a few main choices. First up, there's glass fencing, which gives you that super premium, seamless look where your view is totally unobstructed. Then you've got something called pool perf. That's perforated aluminum. It's pretty cool. It uses these custom-cut patterns in the metal, which can give you some privacy and really unique designs. Of course, there's the classic, standard aluminum. It's strong, it's cost-effective, it does the job. And then, for those really unique spaces, you can go with a completely custom-designed solution, built from scratch just for you.
And this really gets to the heart of the most common trade-off, the one that homeowners are always trying to balance. What's more important to you, aesthetics or budget? Because on one side, you've got glass, which gives you that absolutely premium, almost invisible look. But on the other hand, you've got aluminum, which is a total workhorse. I mean, it's incredibly durable, it's reliable, and yeah, it's usually the more budget-friendly option. This single decision can really set the entire tone for your project.
Okay, moving on to the end-to-end solution. And this is interesting, because what if the most important decision you make isn't about the material at all? What we're seeing here is that a truly successful project is all about the process. It's about how you get from just an idea in your head to a finished, installed, and totally safe fence. So let's check out what's called the end-to-end solution.
So this model lays out the perfect journey, really, in 4 clear steps. Step 1, a custom design made specifically for your space. Then step 2 is research and costing, so you know exactly what you're in for. No nasty surprises later. After that, step 3 is professional project management, which basically takes all that stress and worry right off your shoulders. And it all leads to step 4, the final, flawless, and most importantly, compliant installation. This right here, this is the blueprint for total peace of mind. And here's why that whole managed process is so critical. Compliance is guaranteed. Look, with local governments everywhere cracking down and enforcing stricter and stricter pool fencing laws, you just can't afford to leave compliance up to chance. It's not something you can wing. A truly professional process absolutely has to guarantee that what you end up with is fully compliant with every single current regulation. Think of it as the absolute non-negotiable baseline. All right, let's talk about voices from the pool side. Because a great process, it sounds good on paper, right? But what does it actually look and feel like in the real world? Let's hear from some actual homeowners about what they went through. This first quote here from Lucas, it just gets right to the heart of the matter. He uses the word minefield to talk about the safety regulations. And doesn't that just perfectly capture how overwhelming it all feels? So the big takeaway for me is just how valuable it is to have an expert, someone who can guide you through all that complexity so you can do it safely and with confidence. And then you've got Terry's comment. This is that end-to-end solution we were just talking about, but in action. Did you catch that phrase? They did everything. That is the real benefit of a managed process. It takes what could be a super stressful construction project and turns it into something that, in his words, just made life easier. You can't ask for much more than that. And as the last piece of feedback from Dean, wow, this is powerful. Because this isn't about the first installation. No. This was about a repair that was needed 5 years down the road. The fact that the company still had all the original details on file, that just speaks volumes. It shows a level of service that goes way beyond a one-and-done transaction. It's about building a real long-term relationship.
So let's bring it all together now. Section 4, Safety, Style, and You. We've looked at the big challenge, we've talked materials, we've seen a model for the perfect process, and we've heard from real people. Now let's pull all those pieces together and boil them down into a simple, actionable checklist you can use for your own project. Okay, this is it. This is your checklist for a perfect project. First thing, don't just shop for a fence. You need to shop for a process. It's a total game changer. Second, you gotta be honest with yourself about that balance between the look you're dreaming of, the budget you actually have, and the durability you need. Third, and this is a big one, demand guaranteed legal compliance. It is absolutely 100% non-negotiable. And finally, look for the proof. You want to see a track record of happy customers, real expert advice, and a genuine commitment to service.
And so we're going to end on that very question, because now, armed with this framework, you're not just guessing anymore. You are totally empowered to ask all the right questions, to evaluate your options with clarity, and to find that perfect solution for your home. The one that finally makes your backyard both that beautiful sanctuary you've been dreaming of and, most importantly, the safe space your family deserves.